Born in '84, I flew like the wind. With the name of a bird, my fame didn't rescind. A fire in my heart, my legacy grand. Which '80s muscle car from Pontiac's brand do you think it is? Here are the muscle cars from '80s and '90s that still turn heads today. The Oldsmobile Cutlass Supreme from 1983 is the first vehicle at number 10 on our list of awesome 1980s muscle cars. With its aggressive split front grille, hood ornament, and broad low-to-road posture, the Cutlass Supreme is sure to turn heads wherever it travels. It is an automobile that will give you the impression that you are driving something with some performance and luxury value. It has twin exhaust, stylish body lines, and a 4-barrel carburetor that helps with some oomph but regrettably no fuel injection. With soft seats, lots of space, and a hint of sophistication, the opulent interior includes a modest wraparound to the dash, which was revolutionary in the early 1980s. You won't be enthralled with this car's power or handling ability, but you will like having it. At number 9, we have the 1986 Mercury Cougar. The 1986 Mercury Cougar is an affordable, brutish two-door muscle vehicle from the 1980s. The Cougar continued on, but sadly, Mercury vanished from the automotive industry. You won't feel too slouchy when you put your throttle foot to the floor thanks to the car's powerful V8 and sequential fuel injection. It certainly provides a certain elegance and style, but it's not as speedy as others in its sector. The 86 Cougar exudes elegance with its aerodynamic shape and unique front grille, while its smooth body lines allude to a performance edge. Its sleek refinement is combined with muscle car styling. Its nostalgic appeal is further enhanced by its inset headlamps, a vehicle you'll be proud to be seen in. Counting down to number 8, we have the 1985 Pontiac Grand Prix. The Pontiac Grand Prix, 1985. Indeed, it's a rather distinctive looking automobile. This is hardly a little runaround car, weighing in at 3,150 pounds. But let's face it, not an affordable hatchback, but 1980s muscle vehicles are what you are looking at. Although this isn't the fastest car to reach 60 miles per hour, you will still look great doing it thanks to the comfortable seats, spacious cabin, several dials, of which Pontiac was and probably still is quite proud, and enormous windshield. The 85 Grand Prix's independent front suspension and 4-link coil spring rear suspension should provide snappy handling. For cruising and a little more spirited driving, not too awful. Here at number 7, we have the 1983 Ford Thunderbird. Even though it's not quite one of those classic Ford Thunderbird models from the 1950s, the 1983 Ford Thunderbird is still a fantastic muscle vehicle that you will love to drive. The '83 Mustang is more compact than its predecessors and has features that allow you to comfortably sit within it as well as accelerate quickly and return to your seat from a halt. At high speeds though, not so much. The suspension system of the 1983 Ford Thunderbird is conventional and consists of a solid rear axle and independent front suspension. It is a car that is enjoyable to drive, stylish to be in, and sure to draw attention for the amount you spend for a good used example model. It is also smooth on uneven roads and easy to handle. At number 6, we have the 1983 Chevrolet Monte Carlo SS. The 1983 Chevrolet Monte Carlo SS has a rather excellent performance specification and looks the part with its boxy and aggressive attitude. The Monte Carlo SS was created to compete with the Mustangs, Firebirds, and Oldsmobiles of the 1980s, and it succeeded in doing so. As a result, it is slowly regaining popularity among fans. Its spacious interior makes it easy to drive, and you can reach 60 miles per hour in a respectable 8.2 seconds. If you can locate a used automobile that is in decent condition on the market, it's actually not that awful considering its age. With a weight of robust 3,500 pounds, the 1983 SS is a large car that requires optimal use of every horsepower source to achieve peak performance. Sitting right at number 5, we have the 1984 Pontiac Firebird Trans Am. People who own a 1984 Pontiac Firebird Trans Am tend to hark back to the 1980s and long for the good old days when things were created to last and accomplish their intended purposes. Naturally, Smokey and the Bandit contributed to the Firebird's illustrious image, but the '84 Firebird Trans Am is still a vehicle to see. With its distinctive look, peculiar features like pop-up headlights, and powerful engine, it has helped rekindle the enthusiasm of aficionados and attract younger people to 1980s muscle vehicles. The Trans Am mixes power and brutal force with a stylish yet threatening look. Its 5.0-liter V8 engine produces an astonishing 190 horsepower. Furthermore, the precise handling of the Firebird Trans Am helps it evolve into a vehicle that exudes a sense of throwback 80s flair, and would still be perfectly acceptable in today's world. At number 4, we have the 1982 Chevrolet Camaro Z28. Upon its introduction in 1982, the Chevrolet Camaro Z28 was a true showstopper with an ultra-modern appearance. It still does so now. You won't be ashamed to be spotted driving it thanks to its bold front nose style, big glass hatchback, wide 5-spoke wheels, and strong body creases. But beauty isn't everything. Throttle body injection, TBI, which was introduced in the 1982 Camaro Z28, continues to contribute to the V8's increased horsepower to this day. The Z28 is a beast of a car that we know you'd love to drive. It also has a fiberglass hood scoops, and coil suspension for agile handling. Now at number 3, we have the 1987 Oldsmobile 442. Oldsmobile 442, 1987. Sure, it's not the fastest automobile, but if you want to see a car that will make your face melt, scroll down the list. Even so, the 442 is still a fantastic 1980s muscle vehicle that will undoubtedly draw attention. And in the event that it fails, well, you get to drive one. The 442 is a fantastic automobile that you can pin into a start at the fastest speed possible from this admittedly heavy beast thanks to its advanced suspension system, which incorporates front and rear stabilizer bars. The 1985 442 is equipped with the same Rochester Quadrajet carburetor that was used in the heyday of Oldsmobile muscle cars. The main distinction is that the 1985 model is computer controlled, which allows for a somewhat sharper gas transfer while driving. Regretfully, in many aspects the 442 will fall short of some of its competitors due to its lack of fuel injection. Coming down to number 2, we have the 1985 Chevrolet Camaro IROC-Z. It's likely that you anticipated seeing this vehicle on the list at some point. The IROC-Z Chevrolet Camaro from 1985. The perfect combination of accelerating quickly in a straight line, boosting a powerful V8 engine, and letting caution fly. During Chevrolet's more prosperous racing years, IROC sponsored the 1985 IROC, which introduced something new and intriguing to the muscle car market and the automotive community, which was expecting sleeker, more sophisticated vehicles. The IROC managed to combine a strong muscle vehicle with some refinement. The Camaro IROC-Z looks the part while handling rather well for the class thanks to its wide and low stance. The 85 IROC-Z is a stunning car to look at, and anyone in the know can tell you right away that it is the much improved sister of the Camaro thanks to its distinctive pinstripes along the bottom of the body, inset headlamps, hood vents, and impressive grille. Not to mention the really admirable 6.9 seconds for the 0 to 60 miles per hour time. Finally, at number 1, we have the 1987 Buick Regal GNX. This 1980s muscle automobile is something really unique and famous. The 1987 Buick Regal GNX is praised by everybody. Modeled after the Buick Regal from 1983 to 1987, the GNX is the most uncommon of its kind from the 1980s. Even though it doesn't have a V8 engine like other cars on the list, it truly doesn't require one. A Garrett turbocharger, which produces an absurdly high 300 horsepower at the moment, complements the 3.8-liter V6 engine that was sent over to McLaren engines for some improvements. The GNX could outspeed vintage Corvettes, Porsches, and Ferraris in terms of speed. Only 547 1987 GNXs were produced, making it an extremely uncommon muscle vehicle. Having one of these beauties in your garage will cost you well over $100,000, and over $200,000 for a mint condition example. We would think it was worthwhile as you would experience the luxury of operating one in its distinctive cabin, hear the dual, non-restrictive exhaust, and feel the genuine traction provided by the special torque arm connected to the GNX's rear differential. In a market dominated by V8 engines, the 1987 Buick GNX was the ultimate 1980s muscle car. Which car in your opinion ought to be on the list? Please share your opinions in the comment section. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel in order to receive notifications when we upload new videos.